say the price of exposure just isn't enough to get paid. You cry in the bathroom when I say your mid-rolls make viewers say bye. Why so sad? You aren't even locked in a contract unless it helps me. Now you're making me mad. I may have misnamed all your videos, but that's your bad. You'll be back, soon you'll see, 'cause your videos belong to me. We have rules, don't you read? We'll enforce them arbitrarily. We will rise, you will fall. No other producer matters at all. And when push comes to shove, remember I own Nostalgia Critic. It does not belong to Doug. Da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 da. And if you think that we have done something wrong, we sincerely regret you feel that way so long. And friends, don't change the channel, 'cause we're an awesome channel. My sweet, submissive channel. You'll be fans of this channel forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. We use Skype, not email. It's your own fault if you miss details. You'll get canned after surgery. Oh, did we mention our misogyny? Maybe yes, maybe no. You might never know if you're let go. Well, that's it. Guess I'm done. If you need to reach me, please don't, 'cause I'm busy playing Xbox One. Da 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 da. Da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 da. Call of Duty. Da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da.
Okay, oh, hang on, audio's a little off. Okay, so, gonna be another minute, before we get started. Just need to take care of a few more things. What's the chat saying right now? Bodacious says, aloha, cousins. Well, aloha to you too, good sir. Okay, so it's probably gonna be in about another minute before I'm all ready to go. So, let me find something else to play, while I work on this. Okay, so just sit tight, and I'll be back in just a minute.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. Discovery's core computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Okay, it looks like I'm just about ready to go, so I am going to go ahead and hit that countdown. Okay, and we are live. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining me for this third installment of Friday Nights with FilmNerd. Happy to see you all here. And it looks like we just got a donation for $5 from Bodacious CNO, who says, "Insult New Jersey." I don't know. It's filled with trash and garbage. Not sure what else I could say. But thank you so much for the donation. I greatly appreciate it. And continuing with where I was in the first stream, every time you guys send in a donation of $5 or more, I am going to take a shot. I still have plenty of my Captain Morgan sliced apple rum at the ready, so let's go ahead and take the first shot. How's everybody doing tonight? How are you guys doing in the chat? Oh, that burns. Okay, hold on. Let me get some music going. Okay, let me know how the audio balancing is for everybody. Okay, so, in my very first stream, I read through some of the Not So Awesome document, and it seemed to go over pretty well. So tonight, I am going to continue doing that, and we are going to be reading some more of the Not So Awesome document. Now, as a bit of a refresher for those of you who don't know, there's this website called Channel Awesome, formerly known as thatguywiththeglasses.com, and they hosted quite a few content producers. There are people like, well, the most famous obviously is Doug Walker, aka the Nostalgia Critic, but then they also had Lindsay Ellis, aka the Nostalgia Chick, Allison Pregler, aka Obscurus Lupa, Noah Antweiler, aka the Spoonie Experiment, Louis Lovehog, aka Linkara, etc. But then around 2013, I want to say 2015, they all basically said, okay, we're done with this, bye, and they all just left the company, and not much was really spoken about it. And then around 2018, they put together this big Google Doc listing all of the grievances they had against their former employers. In my first ever stream, I read through Allison Pregler's section. So tonight, we are going to continue with that. And let me scroll back up really quick. Okay. Let me just turn on my display capture. Okay. Oh, wait, not that. Okay, hide that. No, wait. Sorry, still trying to work through all this. Let me see. There we go. Okay, there's the document. All right. Let's get through this. Okay. Just checking the chat again. Good. Just vibing pretty okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. All right. I've got the chat loaded up on my phone, so should be easier for me to check it. All right. Let's go right ahead. So the section we're going to be reading is on Kaylin Saucedo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Mars Girl. She was another female personality on the site. I saw a few of her videos. She mostly did a lot of anime videos. I remember she also did a series on Ralph Bakshi movies, which I was really interested in because I've seen probably only one of his movies, Wizards, and I don't know, it was just really interesting to see. But anyway, so we're going to be reading her section of this document, so here we go. Kaylin Saucedo, aka Mars Girl. The series of events covers my participation with Channel Awesome from my joining in September of 2008 to my voluntary leaving in September of 2017. Certainly, other minor irritations and moments of hurt feelings have come up besides what is listed in these bullet points. However, to list those would likely be too many and too petty for this document. These are the biggest problems I ran into directly in my 9 years with Channel Awesome. Oh, Tech in the chat says, also Liz says you're sussy. Well, you know what? She looks pretty sussy too. Anyway, so first up, runner-up in the Nostalgia Chick contest. So, I should preface by saying that around the time the Nostalgia Critic was getting really popular, which was back around 2008, there were a lot of people who were asking him to review mostly a lot of like girly content, you know, like My Little Pony and Rainbow Bright and all that. Well, the thing is, Doug didn't really grow up with that kind of content, so he wasn't really the best person to talk about that sort of stuff. So he held a contest for women to uh, send in their stuff and see if they'd be eligible to become the Nostalgia Chick, which is basically the female equivalent of the Nostalgia Critic. And sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, but the three winners of the contest were Kaylin Lindsay Ellis, who ended up becoming the Nostalgia Chick, and a third woman named Chrissy Diggs, also known as that chick with the goggles, who I don't think lasted very long on the site. She was in there for a little bit. Oh, Bodacious CNO says, tell Liz she is a hobbit. Liz, you are a filthy fucking hobbit with dirty, gross, hairy feet, and I hope if you have to take the One Ring to Mordor, I hope you fall into Mountain Doom and burn to death. Anyway, so let's go. Anyway, runner-up in the Nostalgia Chick contest. In September of 2008, I participated in the Nostalgia Chick contest, a contest meant to pick a female critic to discuss topics of the Nostalgia Critic when not based on media that was meant to be directed at women, and thus Doug Walker would not review. Yeah, I kind of already went over this. While I was not chosen as the first place winner of the contest, I was contacted in a Skype call along with Doug and Rob Walker, as well as Mike Machad, and notified that I, along with Chrissy Diggs, that chick with the goggles, was chosen as the runner-up and would be allowed to contribute content to the site. Text says, you stare at her feet? Film? No, it's just that, you know, hobbits are known for having giant, gross, hairy feet. I mean, it's just something you can't really not look at. Anyway. So early unfulfilled payment promises. First up, I was one of the earliest contributors to the site, and thus I was one of the ones who was asked to directly transfer my video files into the hands of Mike Machad, who would then upload my video to their Blip channel. Now, Blip, for those of you who don't know, was a video service, much like YouTube, that I believe was actually a direct competitor with YouTube, but unfortunately it was around for a while, but the service honestly wasn't that great, and it was canned around 2013. I believe because Maker, the people who created Blip, were bought out by Disney, and they just didn't know what to do with it, so they just abandoned it. Looking at the chat, Stern Speculation says, I just finished an hour-long video about the Wolf People erotica lawsuit Lindsay Ellis made. Oh, I was not aware of that. I'll have to look into that. Let me check Streamlabs. Okay, just checking really quick. Anyway, so back to this. After Lewis, Linkara was... no, wait. Okay. For the first short while, my videos were not being hosted on any channel I had any control of. This was so that they would receive the advertising revenue for my video, and I was told that they would pay me out for the money earned on my videos. This never happened. After Lewis, Linkara, was added as a contributor to the site, he suggested that I start my own Blip channel, as he was already using one for himself. I did just that, and opened up a Blip channel of my own. When my next video was ready, rather than handing over my video directly, I told Mike Machad that I had a direct link to my video already uploaded on Blip. This made him furious, and he angrily scolded me for creating my own Blip channel without express permission from him or any other Channel Awesome executive. Only after apologizing profusely for not understanding that I was not allowed to do this, and that I did it because Linkara was doing it, did he finally back off, and from this point forward, I began contributing videos from my own upload links. I was never paid for any of my early contributions. So, we're off to a great start. Starting speculation in the chat says, Blip was just broke bitch Vimeo. You know what? Yeah, you're not wrong. It was pretty broken. Anyway, let's continue. The mistitling of videos. One of my earliest video series was titled Animation, a Children's Medium. Its intended purpose was to question whether or not animation was truly meant just for children, as is often perceived, or if it has also commonly had a specific adult audience. I described this video to Mike Machad as being something like a history of animation, but I didn't intend for it to be called as such. I just gave it that description so that he had a clear understanding and a brief amount of words as to just what this project was. Hang on, I'm going to take a drink really quick. Alright. When the video was embedded into the site, It had been totally and completely mislabeled as a history of animation when the title of my video even came up near the beginning of the video and was not. Oh, sorry, I just got a donation from Tech for $1. Sip, you woman, sip. Sorry, Tech, but as I stated earlier, in order for me to take a sip or a shot, I would have to get a donation of $5 or more. But anyway, continuing on. Where was I? Oh, yes. When the subject came up in the That Guy with the Glasses forums, I explained to the people questioning this that there had been a miscommunication with Mashad about what the video was supposed to be, and that I would make sure he understood what it was next time. This led to Mashad reaching out to me on Skype to, once again, completely lose his patience at me and text shout at me something about making him look bad or incompetent when it wasn't his fault, which, admittedly, that's not too hard. I mean, just look at him. He is kind of a buffoon when you look at him. Anyway, being 22 at the time and not knowing how to handle such a situation when I was so happy to have been made an addition to the team, I buckled and apologized profusely, saying this was another misunderstanding and that I meant that I was the one who communicated badly and that I wouldn't let it happen again. I went further and said that since I kept messing up in his eyes, maybe I wasn't truly the right choice for a contributor to TGWTG. Only after making myself look like the fool to him did he back off and leave the topic be. I have since wondered if he was just satisfied that he had successfully made me feel ashamed. You know what? Given Mike Machad's track record, I wouldn't put it past him. Goodly Draw says, for a second I thought he was going to call it animation a children's meditation. Yeah, honestly, again, I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, the perceived rivalry with Screw Attack. Mike Rashad was frequently uncomfortable with the knowledge that for a brief while I was on decent communication terms with a select few members of Screw Attack, and that I would sometimes write in their blogs sections and post in their forums. He would reach out to me on Skype and tell me that he was not comfortable with my communications. Just got a donation, sorry. For $4 says, okay, funny guy, put on the skirt. Sorry, I'm not doing that. I don't have a skirt. Plus, I don't think I have a skirt that would fit my large, round, fat ass. Anyway, but thanks again for the donation. Greatly appreciate it. Anyway, let's see. Where did I leave off? Okay. He would reach out to me on Skype and tell me that he was not comfortable with my communications and would prefer if I stopped interacting with them altogether. His reasoning, he told me, was that he perceived Screw Attack to be TGWTG's direct rivals, and that he was concerned that Screw Attack would steal me away as a contributor. I assured him that this was not going to happen, that I did not consider myself to be a video game content creator, and that I was satisfied being attached to Channel Awesome. While this satisfied Bashan for a brief while, I did not understand his concerns, especially since Doug Walker, the nostalgia critic, had been brought significant viewership by participating in crossovers with James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd, whose intellectual property at the time was under legal ownership of Screw Attack. Partnership and interactions seemed to be working out well for them, and I was upset that Mashad addressed me with such vitriol during the situation. Sorry, I think I just got a notification for something. Okay. You didn't drink bra. Okay, you know what? Not poggers. Okay, you know what, Tech? Just for you, because your combined donations were about $5, I'm gonna go ahead and take another shot. So, alright. Down the hatch. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Sorry. Okay, Damn, I just got another donation for $5 from Flower Power. Sippy time. Yep. Indeed, it is sippy time. Oh, boy. This is going to be fun. All right. Oh, God. Are you happy, Tech and Flower? Are you happy? Are you happy? All right. All that water helped. Okay. Oh, I'm looking in the chat. Elizabeth M. Hi, I'm here. Hey, I'm here from Allison's Discord. Fun times, fun times. Yeah. So you probably missed my last stream, but I actually, well, not my last stream, but the stream before that, I actually read over Allison's section of the Not So Awesome document. If you want to, you can go back and check out that stream. But anyway, let's get back to this. Excuse me. Let's see. Partnership and interactions seem to be working out well for them, and I was upset that Mashad addressed me with such vitriol during the situation. You know, because it's okay when Doug, you know, nostalgia critic, Top Boy Walker does something like this, but if someone other than Doug does it, then, you know, how dare you? Flower Power says, yes, I'm very happy. Well, I'm glad you're happy. Hope everybody in the chat's having a fun time as I read through this. Anyway, in 2009, Screw Attack held their first Screw Attack gaming convention in Dallas, Texas. I was excited about attending because prior to that, there were next to no video game events within Texas where I lived at the time. Rashad once again addressed me and suggested that it would be a bad idea for me to attend. I had to reassure him once more that I would not be trading my channel awesome loyalty just because I wanted to attend a video game convention. Yeah, reading through all this, it seems like Mashad was really paranoid about losing people, which, I mean, I guess that's a valid, you know, that's valid. You know, you don't want to lose your talent to a competitor, but again, this just comes across as a little petty. But anyway, in 2010, I participated in the next Screw Attack Gaming Convention as a general staff member, typically asked to stand next to doors and check members for their badges. This year, Noah Antweiler, Spoony, was the guest at the convention. I told him that Mashad had a previous history of being upset with me for communicating with Screw Attack, which is when he told me that he was also hearing Mashad's upset tone with him for agreeing to be a guest at SGC. You know, once again, you know, it's okay when Doug does something, but if somebody other than Doug does it, then, you know, how dare you? Anyway, so next up, my decision to distance myself from others during my time as a contributor. All of these interactions with Mike Mashad made me very nervous about doing something wrong, and it felt like there was always a target on my back, or that someone was looking for a reason to drop me as a contributor from the site. Rather than having to put up with the anxiety of being told I did something wrong when I had no idea I was doing anything wrong, I began to largely pull away not only from communicating with Mike Mashad, but with anyone on the site at all. I kept to myself for the next several years, did not want to participate in anyone else's drama, and just continued releasing my videos on my own as best as I could. Yeah, I imagine that's how a lot of people were, you know, dealing with Mike Mashad, that after a while, they just wanted to distance themselves from him as much as possible. Anyway. Oh, never mind. Anyway, my interactions with Mashad had also made me very gun-shy about participating in Skype or being available on Skype in any capacity, and I feared logging on and seeing some new angry message from Mashad. I would sometimes not log into Skype for months at a time. This would begin to cause communication problems when site management would decide that rather than give us promised communication through either monthly emails or through our internal scheduling site, they would instead put all contributors into one large Skype chat room and use that chat room to deliver important messages to us. I would often miss large, seemingly important notifications due to this, and despite them having multiple email addresses of mine and my phone number, they never utilized it. Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to run your site, you know, just instead of doing like email communications or whatever, you just rely on freaking Skype, you know? Anyway, let me just check something really quick. Okay, never mind. I just wanted to check something on Discord. But anyway, let me check the chat, see what people are saying. Flower, we got a couple of hot girl summers in here. Bodacious says, I need to buy margaritas. Goodly draws, fat fuck Friday. Flower Power says, Target has huge bottles of margarita mix for $10. Alright, that's a pretty good deal. Let's see. Bodacious C now outdrink FilmNerd tech. Starting speculation. Do people still use Skype? You know what? That's a good question. Maybe people do. I don't know. I mean, at least as far as I know, people haven't been using it for as long as I can remember. Um, Honestly, I think people just at this point use either Zoom or Discord. I mean, when I was having chats with some friends of mine, uh, and whenever I would have like business meetings with my IRL employer, I would use Zoom. But yeah, I don't think anybody ever uses Skype, at least not that I know of. But anyway, let's get back to the reading. Oh, bad. Okay. All right, here we go. Making costumes for anniversary films. Many of us were expected to make our own costumes for the anniversary films, myself included. In most instances, we were not paid for the creation of these costumes if we were deemed capable of making/bringing them with us. Before the filming of Taboli Flea, I was asked initially to make a costume of Leela from Futurama. Luckily, I did not make it far in the construction of this costume, because I received an email from Doug saying that I needed to make a costume of Major Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, and a very specific outfit of hers. There was only a couple of weeks left before the shooting of the movie, and I had to make some expensive and fast purchases to throw it together in time. All right. Where was I? Okay. We were told that if we made our costumes ourselves during Taboli Flea, they would pay us for the construction of the costume if we met two conditions. One, we had to provide receipts for the materials used to make the costume, and two, we had to turn our costumes over to Channel Awesome. I was frustrated with this idea and decided I wanted to keep the Major Kusanagi costume for myself. It meant taking a financial loss, but I was not happy that I would have to hand over a costume that I had to both make and wear myself. The death of the Nostalgia Critic and the Taboli Flea rap party. Given what the filming conditions were like on Taboli Flea, I'm sure the rap party was just a joy. As is mentioned elsewhere, the death of the Nostalgia Critic and the ending of his character and review series was written into the script of Taboli Flea. Many people did not know that this was going to be happening until they read the script. Many others did not understand until filming got underway, and from my discussions with other content creators, no one had a clear idea of what they were supposed to do with their content creation once this was loaded onto Channel Awesome, and the rest of the internet found out Doug was making this decision. After we had finished filming during the week of Taboli Flea, a rap party was held at a pub nearby the hotel we'd been lodged at. We paid for our own meals. At this party, Doug Walker handed out individually addressed letters to each member of the cast that was there, which seemed like a nice enough gesture, but the finality of the letters indicated that Doug did not intend to continue to create anniversary videos, nor did he intend to utilize us again. It was obvious that we were considered obsolete to him at this point, and that perhaps we were just expected to go on about our own lives without him, not considering the consequences for everyone for what he was about to do. Which, yeah, again, that's pretty shitty. A pretty shitty thing to do. I mean, it's one thing to want to, like, end your series if you feel like it's gone on long enough, but to be like, oh yeah, not only am I ending my series, but you guys, you also have to end yours too. Like, that's pretty shitty, not gonna lie. Starting speculation, I never saw Kick-Assia or Taboli Flea. Honestly, Kick-Assia I haven't seen them in, like, years, probably not since they came out. Kick-Assia, I don't remember being terrible, but Taboli Flea, like, even when I saw it at the time, I was like, ooh, this is rough. Like, yeah, I could tell that dark times were ahead of us. Broxel is saying, are you drinking this time? Yes, I am, actually. In fact, if you go, it should be pinned in the chat. No, I don't think it is. Let me just go ahead and hide my screen for a second. Let me see. No, wait, actually. Just pin this in the chat. No, wait, not that. Just give me one sec. Oh, here we go. Okay. Sorry. Ignore that. Oh, wait. Hang on, I could just... Okay, it should be pinned to the stream. If you just go to the link, the Streamlabs link, if you donate at least $5 or more, I will take a shot. So that should be... That's there for you. It should be a fun time. Anyway, let's get back to the reading. Pull up the capture. Okay, so let's see. Okay, yeah, I had already read through that. So, forgotten during filming. During the filming of To Boldly Flee, several contributors were called down during a specific scene where the entire cast was expected to be knocked out and having fallen asleep on the floor. They called down nearly the entire cast by name except for me. Later on, they needed us all back for the scene in which we all woke up, and this time they included me. I informed Rob Walker that this was going to look strange because I was not in the initial scene where they filmed everyone falling asleep. Rob responded to this by saying, oh well, plot hole, and then proceeded to laugh it off. I laughed with him at the time, but truth be told, I was saddened by this. This scene can be seen in the final cut of To Boldly Flee. I am not there when the crew of the ship falls asleep, but I am there when the crew wakes up. Because, you know, why bother with continuity when we got to put stuff out for our, you know, shithole of a website, you know? Anyway, let me take another sip of my water. Bruxel, oh yeah, no, that's totally fine. Don't worry about it. You know, you guys don't really need to donate to the stream if you can't or aren't able to. You know, just having, even though there's only like 7 people watching this, just having anybody in this watching the stream right now like really means a lot. I greatly appreciate everyone being here. I love you all. Anyway, so let's continue. More mislabeled videos and videos not hitting social media. Our internal website is where we could schedule our video content. I would schedule my videos there, much like everyone else, and leave notes about the name of my video, the link to my title card, the link to the video itself, the description of the video, and my contact information, phone number, and Skype username. I would often leave extra notes if there was anything important I needed the person doing the scheduling to know. These notes were never read, always ignored. For example, I would have a request review because I take requests from my Patreon contributors as a reward tier for them. So the title of a review might be Request Review, The Transformers the Movie, or Request Review, Batman Mask the Phantasm. These reviews would never be called this. Instead, they would be titled Mars Girl, The Transformers the Movie, or Mars Girl, Batman Mask the Phantasm. I repeatedly left notes for the schedulers to correct these titles, or to please remember to properly title my videos on the website. They refused to do this properly. Without fail, the names of my videos were always wrong on channelawesome.com. Yeah, that's a good sign. Anyway, usually when a video is posted, it is also cross-posted across various social... Ooh, just got another donation. Sorry about that. One for $1.54 from Bodacious CNL on behalf of Bruxel. Well, I'm sure Bruxel appreciates that, and I appreciate that too, so thank you so much, man. Just going through the donations. Okay. Anyway, let's get back to the reading. Usually when a video is oh, right, I already read through that. It is also cross-posted across various social media platforms, specifically Twitter and Facebook. Frequently, I would wait for channelawesome.com. Oh, and another donation just came in. Elizabeth M. for $5. You don't have to drink if you don't want to. Well, you know what, Elizabeth? It doesn't matter, people, if I don't want to drink or not. I promised people that I would if they donated $5 or more. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Plus, I don't know. I think me getting drunk on the stream would make it a lot more entertaining. So, cheers. Oh man! Oh my god! And we got another donation for $5 from Amazi saying, "Film my N-word. Sup? How you been?" You know what? I've been pretty good. Not gonna lie. I'm I'm just doing my thing, just streaming and trying to keep people entertained while I get progressively more and more drunk. So, here's to you, man. Yeah. despite being 5'11" and weighing like a little over 200 pounds, I'm what you might call a bitch. Oh. Okay. All right. Where do I leave off? Okay. To update so that I can then retweet their tweet about my video or share their Facebook post about my video to my personal and public Facebook pages. Frequently, not always, but frequently, my videos would not show up in their social media feeds along with their other posts for the day. Excuse me. This happens slightly less frequently on Twitter, but more frequently on Facebook. It felt like management was commonly attempting to make me feel invisible, to make me want to quit on my own accord rather than be fired and make a big deal out of it that would get them into hot water publicly. As an aside to all of this, there was a weekly producer spotlight that was meant to feature a new producer on the front page every week. I was never featured, nor was I on the schedule at all in the first place. Which, I mean, all that, all those reasons listed, I mean, why would anybody want to leave such a great company like this? Goodly Draw says film is not allowed to tell us who was in Paris. God damn it. Throwing that meme out there. Thank you for that. Yeah, I want to just, real quick, I just want to check something. Okay, never mind. Alright. Sorry, I just need to check something really quick. Anyway. So, leaving Channel Awesome. I have been considering my exit from Channel Awesome for many years, but only stayed as long as I did because I had a manager outside of Channel Awesome for some time who scheduled my convention appearances for me. This manager suggested that he understood how bad Channel Awesome was, but if I wanted to keep going and getting con appearances, he needed me to stay because still being associated with Channel Awesome as a brand with Doug Walker as a nostalgia critic was good for me to continue to get work. He told me to consider waiting until I reached 10,000 YouTube subscribers and only then to consider getting out of on my own, which, yeah, that's fair. I mean, and if you really want to make it, unless you have your own dedicated community, you kind of need to branch off of somebody, and only once you reach a certain amount of success can you go on to do your own thing. So anyway, I initially agreed with my manager, but then decided that I would also add in the idea of waiting until my 10-year anniversary and leaving then, depending on which of those two things happened first. Eventually, I decided I just couldn't wait any longer, and I led to my 9-year anniversary of Channel Awesome in September of 2017. I can no longer idly stand by and watch others and myself be affected by their poor management and direct abuses to many of my friends. I left a farewell song in my Channel Awesome group Skype chat, and then removed myself from the conversation. Within a single hour of my removing myself from the group chat, all of my content had been removed from the site. Unlike previous contributors who had received pleasant farewell messages from the administrators, no such farewell message was delivered to me, a contributor who had been there longer than 90% of their team and had been in every single anniversary movie. This is also how others were treated who were there either as long as me or a little longer than me, such as Linkara and Suede. Wow, it's pretty shitty, not gonna lie. And that's it for her section. So yeah, let me just look in the chat real quick. We got 9 viewers. Wow, I'm really impressed. But anyway, checking the chat. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you're having a good time. Let me know if the audio bouncing is good, and if you got any requests for me to, watch or read something, let me know, and I'll probably do that for you. Anyway, so I think what I might do here is, because in the first stream I did when I was reading Allison's section, I got to the part where she had links of like her Skype text and her exit post and Phaelus's exit post, but I decided not to read through those because they kind of dragged on for a bit. So, how far into this are we? 40 minutes. Okay, so I think I will spend the next couple minutes reading through those. So let me just pull those up. All right. Let me go to Streamlabs. Where is it? Okay, never mind. Yeah, let me just double check this real quick. Not sure why it's not showing up here, but anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this back there. Okay. There we go. All right. So we have these are linked channel awesome chats between Mike Mashad and Allison. So this first one here, Mike, will be out from March 14th through March 20th. So no questions to Holly or Rob. First up, Mike says, "Do you have time for a quick call?" Allison says, "No." Then he says, "When will you?" And then next, he says, "Can you talk now?" And then 3:42 p.m. Then about 15 minutes later, he says, "Since you won't take a call or are ignoring us, we have no other option than to inform you that we will no longer be publishing your content on channelawesome.com. All your past content will be removed from the site as of today." And then just 3 minutes later, Allison says, "I was away from the computer, but thanks for the firing in the meantime. I'm glad 15 minutes is all that took. Of course, you guys are always available within 15 minutes of asking." Yeah, that, you gotta admit, that's kind of shitty to just fire someone outright because they just happen to be away from their computer for like a few minutes. You know, you couldn't have just waited. But anyway, next up, this is from Sunday, April 20th, 2014. Allison says, "Hey, I asked if there could be a link under my latest vid, and it's not there." And then Rob says, "I've never put any of those type of links up for anyone." "What types?" "Patreon, eBay, donation, etc. Websites, Twitter, Facebook, title card artists, charity causes, and merch links are fine." "How it's different than Indiegogo or Kickstarter?" "You never put anyone's Kickstarter or Indiegogo under it either. But if it's a video, it's okay. As in, a video telling people about the Patreon, Kickstarter, whatever. To my knowledge, since I started updating again, none of those have gone up." Okay. This is how the CEO talks to people. Yeah, I mean, this, you know, he just sounds like a real upstanding gentleman, doesn't he? Okay, let's check in the chat. Everything seems to be kind of quiet. Okay, yeah, last thing was some goodly draws. But yeah, just let me know how you guys are doing, how you're liking the stream. Anyway, let's continue. So the next one we got here is from Allison. "What about the Indiegogo for the game show and stuff?" "Hello? You're just not talking to me now?" So question. Brad's video about Patreon was up, but Suede wasn't allowed to put up his video about Patreon, and we're only allowed 30-second Patreon promotions at the end of videos or something. And she quotes Rob by saying, "It took us long enough just to get our fans used to the idea of ads to begin with. Uploading more than the standard 2 ads per video and then offering a buyout option comes off as too much of a slap in the face to them, and we do not want to risk it." And then she responds with, "Just wanted it out there. I was told adding Patreon to mid-rolls was a slap in the face. So I'm curious why it's okay now." And then Rob responds with, well, she quotes Rob by saying, "Yes, we did do a Kickstarter once as a means to expand programming and ensure that we keep going, so we can provide a constant net space for you guys that won't go under. Since we are providing you guys with a place to post your videos, a large amount of site traffic, and aren't asking for a cut from the producers, we thought this was one time where we could exercise a little executive authority and do one Kickstarter to fill in the gaps. Otherwise, our pledge drives have been based around giving to charity." And then Allison responds with, "Also the executive authority Kickstarter." And then Leon Thomas, aka the sci-fi guy, says, "So can we all post our Patreon videos on CA now?" And then that Monday, let me take another sip of my water. Started Speculation says, "I'm still here. I'm messing with the mobile dress-up game." You know what? I'm sure that's a fun time. Anyway, let's go. Anyway, so then Mike says, "For Patreon, with the new site, we're allowing it. We're allowing the links, and going forward, we decided to allow one dedicated video. There is no reason to pull up text from almost a year ago when we were still on the fence of what we were going to allow with it." And then Omega, I'm not sure who Omega is, says, I'm not able to log into CA files, but Czar was able to log in as me once before Christmas from her IP address to post my holiday vid. Does that mean that I have to log in from her IP address, or will I eventually be able to log in from here? And then Mike says, you should be able to log in without the IP. Send me a private message and we'll go from there. And this is at 9:13 a.m. And then several hours later, at 1 p.m., there is a reason to pull up text because no one told us there was a change. All you did was post Brad's video, and now you're saying it's okay. It's hypocritical, and we deserve an apology for how Patreon was handled, since it's not a slap in the face anymore. And then just 2 minutes later, you can't say we were still on the fence is a good excuse for being hypocrites, since as far as we knew, you were still on the fence until Brad's video was posted, apparently. Also, on the fence is slap in the face. Yeah, if I had to speculate, I would say they were okay with Brad doing it because Brad like kind of lives in the same general area as the Walkers, which is like the Chicago, Illinois area. So they're probably like best buds. So, you know, it's just that thing of, you know, if you're closely related to Doug Walker, then you get everything handed to you on a silver platter, basically. Anyway, so continuing on, Allison then says, that seems pretty much no to me, but maybe I have a different interpretation. Is this the new and improved communication you were telling us about? Or is this one of the questions that'll get buried in this replacement for emails chat? And what about the Executive Authority Kickstarter? Are you still on the fence about whether we can do them or promote them? Or is that change when you randomly decide to? And then right after she says that, Mike says, what are you talking about there? We've been promoting Lewis Indiegogo since launch. And as people give me all their info, their Patreon has appeared on the site under their videos. Then Allison responds, yes, which is different to what Rob told me in that quote there, that you guys were able to do Indiegogo because you were pulling executive authority, which is one of the reasons you gave me for why Patreon/Kickstarter was not promoted. And then Mike responds, once again, you're pulling up something that is almost a year old at this point, something that we have changed. We've allowed people's Indiegogo Kickstarters for projects. NerdQuest was allowed a long time ago, and Lewis's movie has been allowed. And then Allison responds, NerdQuest was before the message Rob sent me. Mike says, and since the site launched, we've had the Patreon links up for people as they have given them to me. Then she says, and also if this was changed, you need to tell us. Mike says, exactly. I posted that NerdQuest was long ago. Just checking the chat here. Excuse me. Just a little tired. Let's see. Then she responds, so why were you guys telling me it was executive authority after NerdQuest was already a thing? Mike says, because it was a decision to allow an independent movie to get funded at the time. Allison's like, oh my god. And then Mike says, we made an executive decision on that back then. Don't tell the workers what they need to know. Good job, CEO. Yeah, again, you know, Mike Machado just seems like a really chipper, upstanding, entrepreneur, doesn't he? Anyway, you can't just be hypocrites and say it's executive authority when you're called down on it. Mike responds, how are we being hypocrites when we are allowing other things to go on the site, Indiegogos that aren't ours? If we just allowed it ours and said no to everyone else, yes, we would be hypocrites. And then Allison's response is, because you told me it was executive authority, and that's why Patreons weren't allowed, and now it is. Mike says, we can continue this in a side chat if you wish. She says, no, I'd rather talk about it in here. He says, then I'm not going to continue at this point. She says, that's fine then. All you do is make excuses so you're not at fault. And then it says Mike removed Hope Chapman from this conversation. Yeah, Hope Chapman, I believe, was Jizu Otaku on the website. And then once again, don't tell the workers what they need to know. Starting Speculation says, honestly, I didn't know how many people were part of the Channel Awesome brand. There were too many people, and a lot of them were overshadowed by each other. Yeah, that's kind of I feel like that was probably part of the reason why Channel Awesome was sort of doomed to fail, was that they brought on so many people and each of them were competing with each other, so it was just kind of, not a good situation for everyone. Anyway, continuing on with the chats. So we got Alex D. I'm not sure who that is. They say, don't mean to cut the conversation, but I found an interesting article on Tube Filter that talks about the best time and days to upload content on YouTube. This may not pertain to most of us, but it could informative and perhaps beneficial. And then there's a link. Then they say, hey, is there a deadline for resending all that content info stuff? I haven't yet. And then Shane Louise, I don't know who that is, says, I think it's a get it to us as soon as you can type of thing. And then it says, Mike removed obscures a little bit from this conversation. Once again, don't tell the workers what they need to know. And then, oh God, we got this long-ass post from Rob Walker. Let me just take a sip of my water. All right. Hope you guys are doing okay. Let me know how things are working out in the stream. We currently have 8 viewers right now. Super glad that all of you guys are here. It really means a lot that I have anybody in the stream right now. But anyway, let's continue. So here we go. Excuse me. From Rob Walker. All right. Mike informed me things were running late because of Easter. I was also involved in discussions earlier today. Everyone here at HQ in Chicago agrees that putting up links on TGWTG for payments to bypass ads is a bad idea. We have a policy on producers e-begging, and we feel this is coming close enough to crossing a line. We've already been fielding complaints from people regarding your videos, and all of them revoke around the amount of ads per episode. It took us long enough just to get our fans used to the idea of ads to begin with. Uploading more than the standard 2 ads per video and then offering a buyout option comes off as too much of a slap in the face to them, and we do not want to risk it. We've applied this policy across the board. Numerous requests for links have been denied to multiple producers for years now, and that's not going to change now. So I'm sorry, but it's a non-negotiable point. Yes, we did do a Kickstarter once as a means to... Okay, this is all the stuff that's been talked about before. Proof of using Indiegogo to defraud people of $90,000. And there's a link to it. I'm not going to click that. Bodacious CNO asks... Excuse me. Is Doug still making stuff? Yes, he is. Channel Awesome, if you go to their YouTube channel, they're still uploading videos, and they somehow still manage to get like thousands of views, even with all this that came out. Anyway, so let's continue. Then Allison, I believe, says, thank you for responding. It would have been nice of Mike to talk to me instead of disappearing when I was asking for clarification. As for the ads, it was wholly unprofessional how Mike approached me about it. As for his accusations of me screwing everyone else, I could say the same for Doug's retirement that no one else was informed of, or shutting down BT without telling the members, or any number of things. Patreon is a means of supporting a show, paid per creation and entirely optional. It's not e-begging, and if your one-time Kickstarter was an executive decision, then it would be nice to have some announcement to people about the difference. Otherwise, it just seems like hypocrisy. I don't want to fight, I don't want this weird tension, but I hate that it's like pulling teeth trying to make sense out of anyone. There's zero communication. I asked the other producers if they had a problem with the mid-rolls, by the way, and everyone said they had zero issues with them. I understand that doesn't have to do with the audience, but I don't appreciate Mike making stuff up to try and prove his point about ads. There's the same link. Excuse me. Anyway, I realize people think I'm just being some greedy little witch putting a lot of ads on my videos, but the truth is I don't get 100,000 views per video, and fans complain about everything, including, as you said, when ads were introduced at all. It's no more than what you see on television, and no more than Blip will allow me. I do that to make enough money to live, and I won't apologize for that. I'm not slapping people in the face, and to say that is pretty insulting. Don't try and spin the Kickstarter for you guys, and then tell us we can't try to make money. And then Rob's response is, well, I will bring all this up to him on Wednesday and go from there. Thank you. And then there's this huge thing that that's basically about the whole Kickstarter thing. Because I believe I mentioned this in my first stream that Channel Awesome got a lot of flack because they had started a Kickstarter that promised like various game shows and whatnot, but they never delivered on them until they got this email from Indiegogo saying that hey, you guys haven't delivered on what you promised, so what's going on? So anyway, and then down here we got let's see, from Allison. Wait, never mind. Now it works. Anyhow, I'm setting up for a Thursday video. If you can give me a feature for that day, that'd be great. I wasn't to gun for this week, but unfortunately I wasn't able to edit on time. Elizabeth M in the chat says, well, there was the whole wall debacle semi-recently. Yeah, I know. A lot of people were talking about Doug's review of The Wall. I haven't seen it, but that's mostly because I don't want to watch any of Doug's content, because even if I'm watching it ironically, I'm still giving him views and attention, and I don't want to do that. So I haven't seen it, but shameless self-plug, if you guys want to, I actually did a review for The Wall on my website. If you go to that, film-nerd.com, you should be able to find it. Anyway, so on Saturday, June 7th, 2014, Allison says, Mike, have you been able to talk to Blip at all about my account, or is it a no-go? Because if so, I might as well just stick to Screenwave. And then that Wednesday, she says, I'm sending another message in attempts to get some answers about what can be done for my Blip page, if it can be saved, or if I'm SOL. Is there anything being done? And then there's something else from Friday, October 10th, but I can't see it. Never answered these questions. And that's it. Let me check the chat really quick. Goodly Draws, you're kind of giving attention right now by reading this. Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but it's not like I'm going directly to their YouTube account and watching their videos. I'm just reading a document from people who were disgruntled by the way Channel Awesome handled things. Anyway, let me just check the chat really quick. How long have I been going? Just a little under an hour. Okay. Just go ahead and sorry I keep yawning, guys. I'm just starting to get kind of sleepy. I think the rum is really starting to hit. But once again, if you want to get me white girl wasted as Holy Ink said in my last stream, every time you send in $5 or more in donations by clicking the Streamlabs link, I will take another shot. So we got some time left. How about I read Allison's farewell message to Channel Awesome from Tumblr, which, oh boy, this is long. So long. Should I go ahead and read through this, or so do you guys want me to just go ahead and read through this, or should I just save that for another stream, because this is pretty long, and I'm not sure I can do that right now. Okay. I guess for now I can just go ahead and read this. Anyway, so the post is titled By CA, and it starts, okay, so by now you've probably heard that Phelan, Lindsay, Andrew, and I are the most recent folks to exit That Guy with the Glasses / Channel Awesome. If you haven't, well, you have now. But I've gotten a lot of questions about it, so here's a long post explaining what happened as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, long is a bit of an understatement. This is just in my chair. Okay, so, edit. Clarifying none of the exits outside of Phelan had anything to do with me, and even then, Phelan and I had been planning on leaving for quite some time. And then there's another edit. Let's see what her later says, bodacious. Yeah, okay, and then Star says, I mean if you're tired. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Plus, I've been going for a little over an hour now, so I think this is probably as good a time as any to cut this off. Anyway, let me just go ahead and pull up my stuff, do a little bit of shilling. Alright, let me just make sure this is all working. Okay. Oh wait, hang on. There. Oh wait, not that. There we go. Okay. So, if you guys enjoy my content and what I do, and want to support me in a personal way, you can always go check out my Patreon. I've got a couple tiers set up. If you sign up, you'll get different roles in the Discord. You can also get a spot on my patrons page on my website, and you can even request for me to do a review once a month if you want to. So there's that. And then of course there's my main website, which is film-nerd.com. I post reviews on there every so often. Currently my latest review is on Black Widow. You can go ahead and check that out if you want to. I should have a new Full Moon Fridays review up later tonight after the stream is finished. And then I've also got a YouTube channel, which, I mean, if you're watching the stream, then chances are you already are familiar with my YouTube channel. So if you want to, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I should have a new unboxing video out later tonight. I'll also have... Hang on. I should also have a new video review out sometime tomorrow. Just gotta get some recording done. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for tonight's stream. But thank you everybody in the chat for participating, and thank you for everybody who donated. Every donation was greatly appreciated. So thank you guys so much for checking out my stream, and until next time, I will see you later. Take care. Also, if you think Mike Machad is a dumb, smelly, dirty, pee-pee poo head, type 123 in the chat. Or if you think Mike Machad is the greatest guy in the world who's done nothing wrong at all, type 456 in the chat. Good night, guys.